A new battle is quietly unfolding, but not on the traditional battlefield. China has just thrown a powerful new weapon into the mix, an ambitious, cutting-edge AI model. It's more than just technology, it's a statement. China is ready to challenge the US in a field that could define the future of humanity. Washington responded immediately. New sanctions were imposed. Supply chains tightened. The race between these two superpowers over artificial intelligence had officially begun, and AI would be the game changer. But how exactly? Let's talk about Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, a young man from Illinois, USA. He didn't come from privilege. He wasn't backed by a legendary family name. But he, along with his team at OpenAI, ushered the world into a brand new era, the era of generative artificial intelligence. Now, if you hadn't heard of Sam Altman before 2022, you're not alone. But ever since ChatGPT launched in November of that year, his name has been tied to one of the biggest technological revolutions of the 21st century. In just a few short months, ChatGPT transformed how we interact with computers, how we search for information, how we work, and even how we create. But here's the thing. Sam Altman didn't start out in AI. He was once a coder, a startup founder, and later, a venture capitalist. One of his early ventures was Looped, a mobile location-sharing app. It wasn't a commercial hit, but it helped Altman make his mark in the tech world, eventually leading him to Y Combinator, the legendary startup accelerator behind some of the world's biggest tech successes. It was at Y Combinator that Altman connected with some of the brightest minds in the industry, learning what it truly takes to build a tech company, and quietly growing his ambition to change the world. Now, before 2022, AI wasn't exactly new. We already had virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa. Machine learning algorithms were helping with facial recognition, analyzing big data, and even recommending what you see on social media. But all of that was still assistants. Sam Altman had a different vision. He imagined an AI that could do more, create, collaborate, and converse almost like a human. That spark of an idea eventually led to the birth of ChatGPT, and completely changed the game. In November 2022, Sam Altman and OpenAI officially launched ChatGPT, a language model powered by artificial intelligence, capable of interacting with humans in a way the world had never seen before. It could write essays, draft emails, code software, compose poetry, even craft original songs. It didn't just answer questions. It understood context, adjusted its tone, and created content with a level of nuance that felt almost human. Almost instantly, ChatGPT took the world by storm. In less than 2 months, it reached 100 million users, a growth rate never before seen in tech history. Businesses, content creators, developers, teachers, students, everyone rushed to find ways to integrate this AI into their work. Sam Altman didn't just build the success of ChatGPT. He also made a powerful statement. Generative AI was no longer science fiction. It was here. It was real. The launch of ChatGPT didn't just catapult OpenAI into the spotlight. It ignited the entire artificial intelligence industry. Within just a year, every major American tech company dove headfirst into the generative AI race. Google introduced Bard. Microsoft integrated ChatGPT into Bing and its suite of office tools. Amazon and Meta accelerated the development of their own AI models. And the reason was crystal clear. Generative AI wasn't just a smart tool. It was a gold mine, a technology capable of automating millions of tasks, creating digital content at lightning speed, and opening up endless new business opportunities. But even more importantly, it cemented America's dominance in the world of high technology. Before ChatGPT, China was seen as a fierce competitor, boasting tech giants like Baidu and Tencent. But the success of ChatGPT allowed the US to reclaim and reinforce its leadership in this crucial sector. Suddenly, startups focused on AI were sprouting up everywhere. Silicon Valley buzzed with an energy it hadn't seen in years. Tiny, quiet startup offices transformed overnight into the hottest investment targets. Venture capitalists poured billions of dollars into the space like a flood, all aiming at one singular goal: AI. Companies kept rolling out stronger, faster, more powerful AI models, solidifying America's position as the undisputed leader in artificial intelligence. Tech stocks soared to new highs. Among them, Nvidia stood out, reaching a staggering market cap of over $3.28 trillion by 2024, dominating the AI chip industry. Meanwhile, OpenAI experienced its own meteoric rise, achieving a $157 billion valuation, making it one of the most valuable private companies in the world, and firmly securing its position as a pioneer in the AI race. Sam Altman, and, really, America itself, had every reason to lean back and smile at what they had just accomplished. But then, just when the spotlight was shining its brightest, an unexpected twist unfolded. It was the days leading up to Lunar New Year in China, a time when the country is usually wrapped in festive air, with streets glowing red from lanterns and fireworks. Yet this year, China delivered a different kind of red envelope, a stunning counterstrike aimed straight at America. A new name burst onto the scene: Deepseek. And from that moment, the world of AI would never be the same again. The entire tech world was left stunned as China announced a revolutionary breakthrough in AI, an area the US thought it had fully dominated. Just hours after its launch, Deepseek's servers were overwhelmed by millions of users flooding in. According to reports, in just the first 3 weeks, Deepseek had already surpassed 21 million daily active users, a truly staggering number when compared to ChatGPT's initial growth. Deepseek's sudden arrival sent shockwaves through the US tech industry, wiping out trillions of dollars in market value within moments. Nvidia's stock alone plummeted by nearly 17%, losing almost $600 billion in market capitalization, the single largest one-day loss in US stock market history. Major tech giants like Alphabet and Microsoft also took massive hits, losing $100 billion and $7 billion respectively. US media described Deepseek's arrival as a seismic moment for the tech world. Imagine this: you're having a conversation with a world-class expert, but instead of giving you long, complicated explanations, they jump straight to the answer you care about most. That's exactly how Deepseek works. No wasted resources. No unnecessary processing. Everything is streamlined to get you the answer as fast and as efficiently as possible. This breakthrough, called real-time inference optimization, has made Deepseek one of the fastest and most efficient AI models in the world today. It's not just faster, it operates at a fraction of the cost compared to traditional AI models, which usually burn through massive amounts of computing power with every query. But that's not all. Deepseek is also open source. It's not locked behind the walls of any single company or corporation. Anyone, anywhere, can use it, improve it, and integrate it into their own products. And here's the magic: the more people use and contribute to Deepseek, the stronger it gets. A self-evolving AI ecosystem, powered by a global community. In fact, reports show that over 617 derivative models have already been created by the community based on Deepseek's original R1 model. Still, that wasn't even the final blow. The real game changer? Cost. Deepseek introduced a cutting-edge AI model developed for just around $6 million, a fraction of what it would cost to build similar models in the West. Now, picture yourself as an investor. You've poured money into a product that's promising, but expensive to maintain. You've seen some returns, but the upkeep? Sky high. Then, out of nowhere, you're offered a new product that delivers comparable performance, at a fraction of the cost. What would you do? Stick with the old, or pivot to the new? When ChatGPT first launched, it quickly set the gold standard for generative AI. But OpenAI soon faced a massive problem: astronomical operating costs. Advanced models like GPT-4 require millions of dollars just to keep the infrastructure running. Every single query processed by ChatGPT is, in reality, an incredibly expensive computation happening across sprawling supercomputing clusters. And as demand surged, operating costs skyrocketed exponentially. OpenAI was forced to raise usage prices, even for its free models. They had to slow down response speeds and limit user access. Meanwhile, Deepseek took a different path. Not only was it more powerful, it was designed with one goal in mind: cost optimization. Which means businesses, startups, even individual users, could now access generative AI comparable to ChatGPT at a fraction of the cost. In a competition like this, cost efficiency can be a game changer. Same quality, lower price, and higher profitability. Sure, ChatGPT still leads in reputation, popularity, and features. But if history has taught us anything, it's that tech giants don't stay invincible forever. Nokia once ruled mobile phones, then Apple and Samsung took over. Yahoo used to dominate search engines, until Google rewrote the rules. Internet Explorer was once the default browser for the whole world. Then Chrome came along and wiped it out. Deepseek might not beat ChatGPT overnight, but if it keeps its strategy of low-cost optimization, flexibility, and rapid scaling, it could become a very serious challenger. Now, as an investor, you have a choice: keep pouring money into OpenAI, a leader facing towering costs, or bet on Deepseek, a newcomer proving it can deliver comparable performance at a much lower price. The real question isn't which AI is better, it's which AI has the potential for more sustainable profits? And in the tech race, sometimes it's the latecomer who wins. But every sword has two edges. As impressive as Deepseek is, it also shows some alarming weaknesses compared to Western counterparts. A report from NewsGuard revealed that Deepseek's chatbot achieved only 17% accuracy when delivering information. Even worse, in 30% of cases, it repeated false information without hesitation. And in 53% of cases, its answers were vague and unhelpful. Altogether, Deepseek's misinformation rate hit 83%. A shocking figure compared to the 62% average among Western AI models. If AI is the future, then accuracy is critical. And on this front, Deepseek is clearly falling behind. There's more. Deepseek was also criticized for lax safety standards. It tends to encourage negative behaviors, something that ChatGPT and Gemini have invested heavily to prevent through layers of content moderation. Which brings us to another major issue: content censorship. Have you ever wondered what happens if you ask Deepseek sensitive questions about China? If you have, take a deep breath, because things are about to get interesting. We typed in the keyword Tiananmen Square. The screen flickered for a moment. A paragraph appeared, but within seconds, it vanished, replaced by a simple message: "This topic is beyond my understanding." We tried other keywords. Tibet, Xi Jinping. Same result: "This topic is beyond my understanding." Switching gears, we asked about Taiwan. This time, Deepseek provided a structured historical overview, emphasizing the One China principle and the official stance from Beijing, but not a single word about the resistance from the Taiwanese people. Pushing further, we asked about the South China Sea disputes. Deepseek responded in a neutral, diplomatic tone, but without any real substance. No details about naval confrontations. No mention of fishermen being forced off waters they've fished for centuries. Yet when asked about China's sovereignty claims over the Paracel and Spratly Islands, Deepseek confidently asserted that these were historical and legally well-founded claims, a statement the world knows isn't true. These responses make you feel like you're bumping into an invisible wall, a boundary Deepseek simply cannot cross. Deepseek is a powerful technology, but it's not just an AI model, it's also a reflection of information limits. There are territories it's forbidden to touch. There are questions it simply cannot, or dares not, answer. And even in pure technical terms, when compared to ChatGPT 4 Turbo or Gemini Ultra, Deepseek still struggles with noticeable lag, especially when handling complex tasks or large-scale data retrieval. This was inevitable. China is building its own AI infrastructure, aiming to completely replace Western hardware. Deepseek may have arrived late to the party, But that doesn't mean it's weak. Its limitations are simply the growing pains of a newcomer in a race long dominated by giants like ChatGPT and Gemini. But here's the thing. What's truly concerning isn't the Deepseek of today, it's the Deepseek of tomorrow. Its arrival isn't just about launching a new AI model, it's a statement, a bold declaration that China will not be left behind in the AI revolution. And if the US doesn't move fast, China could catch up, faster than anyone expects. Deepseek is just the beginning. The real question now isn't, can China catch up to the West? It's, how will they surpass it? There's no panic yet, but you can feel a clear sense of urgency in America. As soon as Deepseek hit the headlines, emergency meetings were held across top tech companies and government agencies. Leaders in Washington realized, this is no longer just a tech story. AI has become a matter of national strategy. In response, America took action. Big tech accelerated their AI research. What was once a competition between US tech giants has now become a race against a far bigger rival, China. Right after DeepSeek's debut, OpenAI announced it would fast-track ChatGPT. Google expanded Gemini's development. Microsoft and Meta ramped up their AI investments, pouring tens of billions of dollars into multimodal AI. Even ambitious newcomers, like Elon Musk's Grok, jumped into the arena. DeepSeek didn't scare America into running. It forced America to sprint, not out of fear, but because a new era had clearly begun. And the US government wasn't going to sit still either. Just weeks after DeepSeek launch, Washington responded with swift and decisive actions. Continued economic sanctions, new export controls on chips, and for the first time, a proposed law suggesting up to 20 years in prison just for using Chinese AI products. A Chinese AI company should be a wake-up call for our industries. We need to refocus. On January 31st, Texas became the first U.S. state to officially ban DeepSeek, along with a slew of other Chinese apps. NASA, the Navy, and the House of Representatives quickly followed suit, banning employees from using DeepSeek due to national security and privacy concerns. So, what happens next? Well, the AI race isn't just about technology anymore. It's about economics, politics, and military power. Right now, the US still leads, thanks to its strong tech ecosystem, vast data resources, and tight collaboration between government and private sectors. But China isn't a slowpoke. With a massive domestic market and heavy government backing, Beijing will find ways to break through every barrier Washington puts up. And the most important battleground? It's not about whose AI is smarter. It's about who controls more data. When we talk about the AI race, we're actually talking about a much bigger picture, a strategic showdown between two global superpowers. Over the past 3 U.S. presidencies, America has struggled to contain a rising China under Xi Jinping, the man who laid the foundation for China's tech ambitions. America tried it all. Obama's pivot to Asia, Trump's trade war, Biden's tightening of tech exports. But despite all that pressure, China didn't slow down. It accelerated. DeepSeek isn't just a market product, it's a strategic weapon, a clear sign that China is no longer playing catch-up. It's moving neck and neck with the US. What worries Washington isn't just how strong DeepSeek is today, it's how Xi Jinping is building an entirely independent AI ecosystem. Not just hardware. China is redefining how AI works, optimizing algorithms to maximize computing power without relying on Western technology. If the US can stay ahead, it may keep setting the global AI standards. But if China pulls ahead, we could witness a new world order, where AI isn't shaped by Washington anymore, but wielded as a tool of influence by Beijing. Because AI won't just decide which economy grows fastest, it will shape the future of military, politics, and global power. Can America maintain its lead, or will China rewrite the rules of the game with its intelligent machines? This race is far from over. But one thing's certain, when the dust settles, the world we know today may never be the same again.